Welcome in, everyone, to the State 48 podcast. I'm your host, Lisa Matthews, bringing you all things AZ. And today on the show, we have the queen of collabs here at State 48, Chloe Cleveland.
Hi.
Which I actually had to look back and see what your last name was, because I just call you Chloe. I don't know. I had to go through my emails. I was like, oh yeah, duh, Cleveland. But I never call you Chloe Cleveland, which is so official. And what is your title here? Because we just nailed it down finally after 5 years, is it?
Yeah, I know. Okay, official title here is the Director of Partnerships. So all things collabs.
All the things, which, I mean, she really does do all the things. Before I officially worked here, and I say officially because loosely I was always here anyway.
Right.
But I just thought you did everything, and I was like, what does she actually do? And wow, you really, truly do have your hands in all the things, which makes State 48 so great, by the way. So we're excited to have you.
Yay, thank you.
And I know you're an avid listener to the show, so you know what's coming up next. You've been mentally preparing for this moment, right?
I'm not going to lie, I've done a few practice rounds.
No, you didn't!
Last night in the shower. I was talking out loud about how I would answer certain questions.
Oh my God, this is going to be such a good podcast.
It's a curveball this week. We actually have you doing some talents instead.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
I know.
It's a talent show.
I was practicing. I was like, she's not even going to ask me.
I'm absolutely going to ask
Okay, good.
you. So I'm glad you came ready.
We're ready.
All right, first question. I'm making this up on the fly because you just brought it to our attention. What is your secret talent?
Oh, guys, no.
You don't have to do it. Just what is your secret talent?
Okay, I really don't have. I guess I don't know. I don't have a secret talent. When I was younger, I could play the guitar and ukulele. But there's one song I can kind of still play now. So if someone has a guitar out, I'll
She's shy.
So it's from the Disney movie Camp Rock.
No.
And it's I think it's one that Nick Jonas would sing, because when I was a kid, I was in love. I don't know. I don't even know the name, but he's just plucking little guitar strings, so I can do that intro.
Okay.
But yeah, that's it now.
What a fun fact. I never knew that.
So, yeah.
I also forget you're 26.
26, yes.
You're not millennial, you're Gen.
Technically, I think I'm right on the cusp. So I'm technically a Gen Z.
Yeah.
I think so.
I was so disrespected today in our meeting when they were for the younger crowd here, I looked right over to you. Well, Brooke, I was like, excuse me.
Yeah. But, I feel personality-wise, I am more like millennials, but year-wise, technically Gen Z.
You're a whole director, director here. Okay, so next question. When I was younger, I wanted to be...
Okay. When I was young, I just wanted to be famous. I didn't care what for.
Who do you look like? Who's your celebrity look like? Remember I told
Doppelganger.
you? Yeah, doppelganger.
You told me?
I did tell you who your celebrity doppelganger was.
I don't remember who you told me.
Proceed with your story of why you wanted to be famous.
Okay.
I'm going to find the answer here.
No, I would sing, play guitar, dance in my room. I would make little videos and act and come up with these skits. I'd have my parents come in my room and be like, guys, listen to the new song I wrote.
Yes.
I'm sing. And I'd always say, I'm going to try out for American Idol. And my parents would be like, Chloe, you gotta be really good.
You're not a singer, sweetie. How do you break our hearts that?
Yeah, they would be and I'm like, yeah, I know. I'm just gonna try. And they're like, okay. And then when I got older, I obviously realized that wasn't it.
I love that.
And now here you are every week on Collab Talks with Chloe.
So
realistically, you've made it.
You're writing scripts.
Yeah.
You're on camera. Famous.
Pretty much famous.
For the collab.
Guys.
Well, we do have the viral sensation here.
Yeah.
Okay, so next, moving along here, a quote I live by is...
Quote I live by. So this one I found recently, and I brought it to our department meeting a few months ago, and it's just I have it written on my whiteboard at home. Look at it every day. New York is 3 hours ahead of California, but that doesn't make California slow. And I love that because it's just a good reminder that to not compare yourself to anyone, that you're never really behind. You're never, sure, you can say too, you're never ahead, you're never behind, you're right where you're supposed to be. Other people have their own stories, so they're doing their own thing. So as long as you're trying your hardest always and you're making progress, you are exactly on the path you're supposed to be on.
Yes, I remember that meeting. I love that quote. That was really great perspective. And it's so true because you just get so isolated in your story, your journey. You look around. Oh, my gosh, my voice. Y'all, apologies.
We're all struggling
today. Godspeed through this episode. But you look around and it's easy to play that comparison game. So I remember when you brought up that quote, it was so good. It's actually much longer. Obviously, I'm not going to have you recite it here.
No, I brought it.
Please recite it. Is this the one you practice for?
No.
Is this the question you practice for?
No.
Oh, my God. Also, I can't think of who the doppelganger is. We'll get to that.
Yeah, I don't remember you telling me
We'll have
that.
our producer there in the back. He's like, nope, not doing it. I will remember at some point of this episode. Okay. My must-have items in the office are...
Calculator for sure. My dual monitor, because I've got 900 tabs up at all times when I'm here and working. My Cheeto box behind my desk is a good one.
Yes.
Gotta have that. The whiteboard, too, in my office. Like, that is my baby. It's always looking clean. Whenever someone draws on it, Nick, or writes on it, I
would never.
Of course, the creatives.
I cringe a little because I love how perfect it normally looks. That's really it. I mean, everyone here knows my office is not ever the tidiest because people are always coming in and putting random things in there, knowing that I will figure out where they go. So I really don't have a ton of must-haves, but
I know another one, though.
What?
It's not necessarily in your office, but your dolly to move the collab shirts to the cars.
That is true.
That's triggering.
Whenever someone touches that thing, I go off.
Yeah.
Nick's just here to like throw.
No, I had to borrow. So I borrowed her dolly this weekend because we were moving, and I called her to let her know specifically, like, hey, I have your dolly, so please don't
like bite your head.
accuse anybody.
Anyone
Accuse anybody else of misplacing the dolly. I have it, just so you know.
Fair.
She's going to come after you if you don't return the dolly.
She has.
One rule.
But hey, it's fair. When you need to move a lot of boxes for a collaboration, you don't want to make them wait.
Yeah.
She needs the dolly where the dolly's supposed to be.
Thank you.
All for our customers first.
100%.
Add it to the list.
Add it to the list. I was going to say cookies. You love your cookies.
I do love those Costco cookies, too.
Costco cookies. Chloe and her Costco cookies.
Yeah.
Love it. Okay. An ideal day for me would be...
Ooh, ideal day. I love vacations, obviously. Who doesn't? Ideal day is probably waking up kind of early, going on a walk, walking to breakfast, getting food, getting coffee, and then being outside, like doing some sort of activity, whether it's outside watching a game, playing golf, which I'm getting good at a little. Being outside, doing some sort of activity, friends around, family around, and then chilling at home. At night, honestly, lately is the ideal day. Like, I'd rather be out and about doing something fun while it's light out and then headed home and in bed early.
You're such a millennial. We'd
growing
rather
up.
party a little early. You're growing up. Get in bed early.
I know.
Look at you. So proud. Your favorite hobby?
Favorite hobby right now is golf.
Yes.
I take lessons, so we're getting there. I played real golf for like the second time ever 2-3 weeks ago, and it didn't go awesome. I didn't do bad, but I was just putting like happy faces or sad faces on the scorecard because I was low key like, this is hard to remember how many shots you've hit. Like, once I got over 5 on some of them that I got over 5 on, I was like,
all right, I'm done.
I don't remember. But it's fun, it's like something different to go do. So I honestly understand why dudes like do it all the time, because it is fun to just be outside with your friends. And
more people should probably just golf with the idea of putting a happy face or a sad face.
Yeah.
Even when you go often. Yeah, just like for your own peace of mind. Like, golf is hard.
Yeah.
So hard. But it's such a necessity, especially in the business world, is what I've come to find out.
Yeah.
Like, everyone golfs.
I know.
Golf tournaments, like partnerships, that's obviously right up your alley. Like, if someone's going to say, oh, Chloe, let's go talk about this deal over.
Exactly. That's kind of what inspired me to like learn. My dad golfed a ton when I was growing up, and I thought it was the most boring thing ever. But now it's kind of like trendy. And so Mike and I even talked about it, like in business, it's just good to know, because it's not like you can take a partner snowboarding.
Right.
Love doing that too.
I was like, dang, okay,
yes,
you snowboard?
I do. That's probably like second favorite if I didn't golf. But But yeah.
Just doing all the activities, all
So
just
active.
an ideal day,
Yes.
golfing, snowboarding, all the things. Well, let's get into a little bit of your journey, how you ended up here at State 48 at such a young age too. And I think that's a really key point here that I want to hit on is, you know, you being so young, but also being able to forge your way into a growing company and have a huge leg in that, which sponsorship, collaboration, I learned was like the big dog here. And the way that you operated and orchestrated also. Let's get into your journey and how you became one with State 48.
Okay, awesome. So I graduated high school in 2015. And when
Me and
I
Nick
know
are
Mike's
like,
20-year
Wow,
reunion
right to the
is
kiss
this
ass.
year. We just did shirts for that. I was like, I wonder
oh my god.
what I'll be doing when my 20 years coming
I'm
up.
sweating. Okay.
So 2015, graduated. When I graduated high school, I did not want to go to college. I had no idea what I was going to do. And I just kind of had a feeling like it was all going to work out for me. I was like, I'm going to end up doing something cool. I don't know what, but it's going to be cool. So I did start going to Chandler Gilbert just to start on like basic classes. As I was there, I started working in the taking classes in like exercise fields, thinking I wanted to do personal training. So I got to like the science part of all that and realized it wasn't it. I am way more of like a numbers and analytics person than I am like science. So we switched that up pretty quick. Went back to just kind of general business. Still had no idea what I was going to do. And then it was 2017 and my parents and I went to the wild card game for the Arizona Diamondbacks last time they were in it. And, you know, we're there and I'm seeing all the girls walk around, like passing out the t-shirts, throwing the towels, dancing with the kids. And even my mom was like, Chloe, like, that looks so up your alley. Like, you should do that.
You wanted to be famous.
Yeah, exactly.
You wanted to perform.
Exactly. And at the time, I worked at Top Golf, so that was my job then, and I loved it. But I knew it wasn't going to be, like, a career, like a lifelong thing, you know? So I was doing that at the time, and then I had asked one of the girls when we were at that wild card game, like, hey, how do you get this job? And she told me, just go online, apply. Did it next season. Go to the audition. There's like 300 to 400 girls there. It was way more intense than I was anticipating. And it was like a 4.5 hour job interview. We were there for a very long time. You had to perform and film things and, you know, answer questions. They did like a mock t-shirt toss where you're in the room, like pretending you're throwing to the crowd.
How awkward was that, literally?
It was pretty bad. It was pretty awkward.
I can
but everyone
imagine.
was like, exactly. You're like being super bubbly and like upbeat and happy.
Staring at no one.
Everyone was kind of feeding off that energy.
Yeah.
So it wasn't so terrible, but it was out of the comfort zone.
How was your throw?
Oh, throw
Nailed
was
it?
good.
Okay,
Throw
great.
was definitely good. We grew up playing softball, so we have the throw down.
Chloe's low key an athlete.
I am so
She's
athletic.
she's an athlete.
Right? No. So we get the job.
We got the job.
We get the job.
We nailed the interview.
I was so stoked. I got that call. I was on like spring break at ASU, so I'm with all my friends in California. We get the call. I'm like, guys, I got the job. We're freaking out. And it was so fun. So obviously, when I started working for the Diamondbacks, we had day one where Mike, Nick, and Stefan came into the boardroom and gave us all of the clothes that we were going to be wearing throughout the season. So State 48 partners with the Diamondbacks, obviously. So
I mean,
beautiful.
hello.
Look at this. Part of the partnership is being the people who provide the clothes for all the rally backs to wear. So that's what the team is called at Chase Field, that throws the t-shirts, does the promos, rally backs. And I had never heard of State 48. I had no idea what you guys were, who you were, nothing. But I thought the clothes were cool, obviously. And so we're wearing these t-shirts throughout the season. We're doing activations, start following them on social media. So we're interacting more and more with them. And one day, so at this time too, like I'm going to ASU, I had finally transferred, switched my degree to marketing because I was getting more into like that sports marketing world, thinking more about going that route. So we finally transferred to ASU. We made a big girl step.
Finding your way.
Yes, slowly but surely was figuring it out. And I had DM'd the State 48 account one day as I was working at ASU and was like, or going to ASU, and I was like, hey, if you guys ever are looking for like anyone to rep or post your clothes on Instagram, or if you want models, no,
she shot her shot.
No.
Back to that fame.
I know.
Trying to get
We
there.
are still trying. Just kidding.
She's an influencer.
No, guys.
No, I love that. But you went for it. You were
Yeah.
like, hey, this sounds like something right up my alley.
Yeah. So I just shot the shot, and sure enough, I'm sure it was Mike who was running the account at the time, responded and was like, yeah, we'd love to have you do that. Do you want to be in one of our photo shoots? So next thing you know, they just had me come down to the Churchill one day and be in one of the photo shoots, and then it progressed from there.
What year was that?
2018.
Okay.
Yes.
So 2018, you do the photo shoot, and then how did things evolve to now being a director?
Yes. So photo shoot was fun. It was like pouring rain, which was so funny too. So if you ever get a chance to look back at the photos, they're not great because my hair is like frizzed
Cue
out.
the photo. This is where Nubia inserts the old photo.
Oh, we'll get them in there.
No,
We
it's
have
fine.
we have all of it, Chloe. You know we have it. You can't hide.
Perfect. So I had a blast at the photo shoot, right? So few months, maybe not even a few months, probably a few weeks passed, and I had just DM'd again and was like, hey, like I had such a blast with you guys. If there's ever anything else you need help with, I'm currently going to ASU to pursue my marketing degree, so I'd love to help you guys out with anything in that realm, because at that point I had kind of done some more research about who State 48 was, realized that they were still like a small upcoming company. So being a student, you know, it would be a perfect opportunity for me to learn about business and help them. And Mike was like, you know what, actually, again, yeah, sure. Why don't you come in and work for us? So I started working at the retail store at the Churchill. So that was my first job here.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so I would go, and it was perfect because being in school, I was able to like do homework and study at the Churchill whilst I was working. So I started with that, and then obviously Mike realized like that I was in school for marketing, so he had me start helping with the email newsletters and some of the social content and coming up with different ideas for promos, whatever it may be. Keep doing that for a while, and eventually like that just progressed. Like me doing those three things turned into also helping with inventory, and then also helping with, you know, collaborations, and also helping with orders sometimes. So it became more of a progressive, like full-time position for me. Like I was helping out in all areas of the business, really getting to learn every single thing about running a business, running a clothing company. And I liked it. Like I was kind of like hooked and thought it was really cool and just wanted to keep learning.
How do you think that it has helped you now to be able to do your job really well, which now is really focused in on bringing the partners in and those relationships and collabs and stuff like that?
Yeah, I think it's been like the most tremendous help to me in my job, because one thing I had learned back at my first job at Topgolf was like, never say that's not my job. Like any position you hold, whatever you're doing, if someone asks for your help, your input, your advice, your guidance, like never respond to any task you're asked to do with that's not my job. So I took that mentality into this job here. And so when I was getting pulled, even at times in 100 different directions here at State 48, when we were just growing and we had a team of 5-6 people, you know, I was never one to say, oh, well, I'm only doing collabs, or I'm only on retail today. Like, if you need help with the orders, sure, I got you. If you need help with counting inventory, like, no problem, let's get it done. And I think that that's helped me today when I am interacting with partners to never say no, almost. Like, if they want something done, I am either going to find a way to get it done for them, or I'm at least going to be looking into possible ways, solutions, substitutes, if they need something else. You know, and that gives me like empathy with our partners too. It's like, I know that they have a need and I want to fulfill it because that is my job and what I want to be doing for them.
Yeah, and I think it's so unique to you being a part of like the growing force that is State 48, and 6 of you here really running a full operation and wearing many different hats. I mean, that is like a startup company, right?
Yeah.
It's like, it's not unheard of in like a small business startup company where 6 people are in the office, grinding away, wearing many different hats. When did it kind of evolve to then truly, because I know you'll do it all. You still do.
Yeah.
I mean, you're out there with the dolly, like, here you
Yes,
go.
I am.
All the things. But when did it truly evolve into you really hyper-focusing on, again, the beast that is Collabs now for State 48?
Yeah. I want to say over the last year and a half, 2 years, is when I fully transitioned into like, this is your sole responsibility. Even still, there's a few things we're still like working to get off my plate per se, or pass off to the new hires that we have. And that all just takes time. So that's totally fine. But when I was still, you know, Mike and I would set up at like a folding table in the back of next door back when we first started, and just sit there and work on our laptops. And we eventually put in a little desk. We would sit there and work like 8, 9, 10-hour days of him just teaching me how to do everything, right? And so we would do collaborations here and there. It definitely wasn't as big as it is now, obviously. But, you know, he would teach me a little bit about that part of things too. I had never even met Zach or Drea. Like, I had no clue who they were, our design team, our creative team. I had never met them. So I would just be getting emails from them about designs for different organizations around Arizona. Obviously would ask Mike, like, hey, what is this? So he would have me help him out. Once I learned how to order our own inventory, he would have me help out ordering the collaboration part as well. Wow. So yeah, I started helping with that kind of thing, and it just started growing. Like, we started getting more inquiries because, you know, we were starting to work with schools, bigger organizations, people. So our name was getting put on the map for the collaborations. People would always be reaching out about how to get one. And at the time too, I still am, but at the time I was overseeing the company-wide email, the info email. So I'm seeing all these inquiries come in. It's getting busier and busier for creative team and myself. So eventually it was just more natural for Mike to step out of that part and focus on obviously all of his CEO duties. So I took over the collaboration process as a whole. Everything from placing the orders to like contacting the clients, sending them designs, working with the creative team. And at that time, there really was no like sales process for it. It was just, if you reached out and wanted to do it, we would do it for you. So now it's evolved into like way more than that, right? We are doing videos, we're doing outreach, we're making content about our partnerships. We are doing so much more than what it started as. But within that last year is when it's grown into the giant thing it's become here at our company.
What would you say has been like the biggest learning curve for you in that? Because this isn't a typical, you go to school for this job, and, you know, a lot of people go to business school. We talked about it, like marketing, and then you get the prototype job out of college. Like, this is completely different. So what for you has been the biggest learning curve, knowing that doing the business and actually doing the day-to-day stuff, that's where you learn the most kind of thing? But yeah, what was it for you, do you think?
I think the biggest learning thing is exactly what you said, is like, it is so different. There is no 2 days of my job that look the same. You know, you have certain days that are more monotonous, where you're on the phone, you're placing orders, you're answering emails. Then you have days where you're out at a golf course tossing t-shirts at people for making putts and
using
stuff.
That
you know,
arm of yours.
Yes, it still comes in handy. You know, and then like every single day is different, and being adaptable has been a big thing that I've learned. You know, being okay with stepping away from your computer at times, or being okay with, you know, having to catch up later because all day you're out at an event. You know, that is such a big thing to learn, how to balance your priorities in that way, and also how to have these different sides of your personality come out in sales and partnerships. You know, you've got your partners who you're more serious with, who just want to get to business. You know, they're not looking to chat about their day. You have your partners who become friends, who you are chatting about your day with them. You're talking to them about so much more than t-shirts. And both of those sides are so awesome, you know? So definitely. I like all of that. I think like learning just how to be adaptable has been the biggest thing for me.
I think about that and like how much it truly entails to, one, get the partnership, keep the partnership and the retention, the relationship building within that. Like, that's so much. Do you ever forecast your position or just even with the growth that you've seen with State 48, like we started with 6, now there's a ton of us in here operating so many different things. I'm sure, Nick, like it blows your mind at times when you're like, we just started in our, apartment room.
Yeah.
Do you ever foresee you like having your own department within State 48 or getting like an assistant? I mean, there's a whole, my mind is like the process, all of those things that need to be in place for you to orchestrate this, and what it's become it's massive.
Yeah. We were just talking about that briefly the other day about how like we're reaching the point where, my job is a lot for one person to do. And I am so thankful and lucky to have the help of everyone here. Obviously, it's not like I'm doing all of this by myself. I'm not here alone.
Yeah.
So many people help me out. However, I do everything for the partnerships, from sometimes landing the business to maintaining the relationship throughout the partnership, placing the orders, carrying the box out to the car, making sure the shirts are delivered, taking care of anything and everything that happens afterward. And I wouldn't trade that though. Like I do take a good amount of pride in like everything that I am able to do. It makes me feel happy about where I'm at in life. And I'm so happy that this is my job. Yeah. Like I love it. And I do foresee maybe in the near future, Mike, if you're listening, an assistant for me would be so cool.
It's like 12 hours a week.
Yeah, just
someone just to go through her email.
Honestly, no, like some of the more like tedious work would be awesome to have someone here helping me out. But no, like we make it work. And I said, I've got people helping me 24/7 with anything I do need. I will ask for help. I'm not afraid to ask for help. So if I need it, we're asking for it. But I do foresee in the future, like a small department for partnerships and collaborations. It's like crazy each year to see the numbers and the growth that we've done is incredible. And I mean, that's only going to continue to happen as we connect more with our partners, connect more with the community. It's only going to get bigger and better.
Yeah. Well, I love like even in our meetings, it's like everyone plays a part in the growth in some way, shape, or form, like the outreach. Okay, how does retail, just cater to the customers coming in through the door? And then that opens up a conversation of, oh, I need, a collaboration. It's crazy how it all is like a moving, thank you, Nick, a moving vehicle in what is like the driving force at the end of the day. It's State 48 getting the brand awareness out there. Yeah. How much, it's almost like, one, you've grown up with the company, but like you've fallen more and more in love with like what you do and what you bring to the company. So what does that look like for you in terms of like, it's not just a job, but it's really ingrained, like it's a part of who you are. And, obviously you're working around the clock to make this happen.
Yeah. The coolest thing about my job for me is that exactly what you said, that I have grown up here. Everyone here, you guys are family to me. Because no, it's true. Like I have some days or nights, whatever, I get really emotional about how much I love this job. And, when you're young, like you flirt with the ideas of other stuff as you're growing up. You're obviously curious what else is out there. Like, I'm not going to say I never looked at other stuff, but it's like every time I would, the road would lead back here. And I'd end up being like, Chloe, what are you doing? Like, you know where you belong. You know what you're doing. You love what you're doing. Yeah. And I can't imagine having a job I didn't love, and I am so grateful that that is what I've found here, and what I'm able to do here is something that I love, because it makes it not feel like work most days. Like I get excited to come in and hang out with everyone. I get excited to like get things done for people and put on these events and make my little videos. Like it's just fun.
You're viral.
Yes, I am viral, guys.
Wait, did I name the title of that?
Did you?
I feel like I did.
I don't know who did.
It was like 2 weeks in. I was like, we gotta name your segments.
Yeah. Well, how they started was Mike was like, why don't you make a video about how to start the collab process on our website one day? And so at this time, I had never I had never touched like CapCut. I didn't even know what it was. I had never made a video like that. So I made my very first video all in 1 3-minute take. Like I could not mess up. I didn't edit it.
It's wildly impressive.
Thank you. And the funniest part about that too is I just screen recorded me like scrolling through the website on the Collabs page. So as I'm filming, I'm like timing it to my scroll and like making sure it all lines up with the background.
And now she's a whole TikTok sensation.
This is Chloe's road to fame.
Yes.
This is how it starts.
Yeah. So like I said, I wanted to be famous. We're still working towards that.
Now we're here.
Or we're here.
I don't think I would ever leave until obviously I become famous, and then I'm definitely leaving them behind. Just kidding. We obviously greatly appreciate you, Chloe.
We love Chloe.
Thanks. I'm glad.
My question, okay, so there's a couple questions I have off base what you said, but I know we have a lot of collabs and partnerships. We're not picking favorites here, but what has been a relationship or partnership that has evolved that has impacted you in some way? Because this is a people business. Like we're working directly with people, not machines, like we were talking about earlier. So what has been one that sticks out to you that really it just impacted you in some way?
One, it's honestly hard to pick one because I could probably sit here and tell you like 5 or 6 stories about that. Phoenix Children's every year is a big one. Patty, who has since taken on a new job, we're working with her on new shirts at her new position now, but she used to work at Phoenix Children's and she would take us on tours of the hospital. And back in 2021, I think it was, she brought in a patient named Brock who came in and we just hung out with him for like 3-4 hours. We were shooting hoops in the creative room. And like, I remember sitting there just being like, my job is to make t-shirts that help kids like this. Like that is literally all we're doing here. And it seems so simple and it can sound mundane. It can sound like the same thing over and over and over again. But hearing that story about like how our shirts were helping a patient at Phoenix Children's was like so impactful. I remember going home that day and just being like, I can't believe that's what I got to do at work today, you know? And I've had so many other partners who have just turned into friends at this point, you know, like we hang out when it has nothing to do with work. And I know that the nice thing too is like, I have someone for everything in my life. Like we got our spray tan, Bronze Bungalow, we've got crystal stores, we've got cookies. Like I have someone for anything I need. And it's not even in a transactional business way. It's more so like, I helped you guys out, you helped me out, like we work together, we get along, and so like let's continue to support each other in more ways than just our t-shirt partnership.
Yeah, and that's when it's really truly beyond just a t-shirt brand, a t-shirt company. Yeah. Which makes, you know, the process that is tedious at times transactional, but knowing it can be transformational, like a story like that. When someone comes in, you get to spend quality time. I love that. Can you break down, since we got collabs with Chloe, like how, if someone's listening, how does a partnership work from A to Z? Like what is the process here?
Yeah. Okay. So, hey guys.
Oh my God. I was waiting for it.
Hey guys.
Hey guys.
It's good timing.
Perfect. Comedic timing.
When we start on the collaboration process for somebody, we start by sending them over a creative brief. It's a simple list of things that our creative team likes to have before they come up with different design ideas for the client or whoever we're working for. What's cool is we're flexible with the brief. You know, the more you send, the better idea our team has as to what you're looking for. If you're not the most creative or you're not sure, like our team is going to take it into their hands and come up with some really cool stuff. But we get basic stuff from you before we start. We pass that along to Nick, Zach, and Drea, and our new designer who is starting with us next week as well. We'll soon be there. But they come up with a few different ideas for the client. So they'll mock up these ideas onto actual cutouts of t-shirts so that you can see exactly what the design's going to look like when it's on a t-shirt. And at that point, I am kind of the point of contact for people. So that's where I come into play, is I'm sending over to the client that first design proof. They send me their feedback, notes, what they like, don't like, things they want to change. And then our creative team takes on those changes, makes whatever adjustments are necessary. At that point, you know, maybe we go back and forth sometimes too, like a couple of times, kind of fine tuning things or tweaking things, trying new stuff on the designs. But we ultimately finalize a design or designs. Sometimes people pick more than one for the client that they love and want to move forward with. They get to place the order with us too. We handle all of the production. So we will order the blank t-shirts. We will do all of the screen printing, box everything up nicely, and then either deliver the shirts to you or pick them up. Once the shirts are done and you have them, like, they're yours to do whatever you'd like with. So people are always selling them, giving them away for marketing purposes, using them as fundraisers, using them at events, you know, whatever it may be, you're able to do whatever you'd like with them.
I love it. See, that could be, boom, a video right there. You should cut and save that for your next.
I do say that, like, probably 12 times a day, that exact spiel.
She has it down.
That we were ready for.
Boom. Well, follow-ups with that. So if a company is curious, like, how to get started, where do they go?
You can email Chloe at state48.com or you can head to the State 48 website. We do have a full page about collaborations. So all that info that I just went over is on that page too. You can see examples of other designs we've created. You can read about minimums, the different products that we offer, pricing, like all those fun details too, are on there. So, and there's a form where you can fill out your name, your email, your phone number, and it goes straight to me. So I will contact you, reach out, and talk to you more about the process if you go that route too.
She's like a machine. She's a robot.
But wait, Chloe, what do I have to pay for design?
But wait.
Nothing. No, really. That is another feature. We are working on making cool videos all about the benefits lately. So that's a good one. You know, there is no upfront cost to working with us on a t-shirt. You do not pay a design fee. So that is like the biggest thing I try to let people know, because most people come to us and like, well, hey, I want to do this. I want to get started, but I don't have the money to pay up front. Like, I would need to go sell these first. You can do that. You don't have to pay us a dime until you're ordering your t-shirts.
Wow. Okay. I didn't know that.
You didn't?
I didn't know. Well,
come on.
Actually, I did per Jeopardy.
Yes. Team Jeopardy.
Good
Jeopardy.
save, Lisa.
Yeah. Per our team Jeopardy. But I thought it was a part of the cost was the design.
It's all built into it.
Makes sense.
So yeah, it is.
Totally.
I mean, like, yes, they pay, but it's all built in.
But they don't have to like
right?
upfront come with money.
Right.
To
We
have
make
a
it
design.
easy.
Yeah, I
easy
love
for you.
that. Okay, so that's literally what you probably see all around the valley. The stamp of State 48 collabed with all of our amazing partners.
Yeah.
Nick, you want to say something right there? Looks like you're about to drop a beat. You good? You have any questions for Chloe before we close?
Any questions?
any concern? Therapy session?
No, I don't think so. Chloe does do a great job.
Yes.
It is interesting too, because so when we moved into the newer offices as well, and you know, you mentioned that you hadn't met Zach and Drea for a while, just because kind of we all worked remotely, especially over quarantine, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You know, when we did move into these offices 2 years ago now, almost, if not a little more, I think is kind of when the whole design team and Chloe kind of started to become like one team, because it wasn't necessarily before, you know, and now it is much more of that, right? Especially like Friday afternoons, Chloe will come and hang out in there, and it is just much more of a team to where we all get along. There's conversations, and like, admittedly, like, Chloe worked for us for a long time, and I don't think I really knew Chloe that well until about 2.5 years ago.
Yeah.
So
no, which is so important, because it's just so impactful.
Yeah, I mean,
like, what you guys work directly together,
Yeah,
right?
100%,
Making a partner's shirt come to life and all of that. So
yeah, absolutely.
Really moving in here too. I feel like this building has really brought.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, and Mike talked about how, you know, he wanted people to work together and be closer together, and that was a big thing. You know, design kind of can be done from anywhere, but at the same time, I do feel like this is one scenario specifically to where, like, it shows that, like, being in close quarters with people that you're working with is great benefits.
Yep.
Totally.
Exactly.
Shouts out, Mike.
Shout
out, Mike.
We
always.
had to. We got you the job here, girl. Well, you shot your shot.
Well, Chloe got
always
herself the
shoot
job.
your shot.
Sure
That's
did.
the
She
advice.
slid in those DMs. And was
Slide
like,
in the DMs.
Wow.
The amount of change that State 48 has had because they slid into the DMs and Mike replied has been very beneficial.
That's true.
Shouts out Zach Hall.
That too.
But not as much as Chloe.
Haha, Zach.
All right, well, we're going to go eat as a family. It's lunchtime now. That is what State 48 is. But thank you so much, Chloe. Loved hearing your story and all that you do. so excited that you have your own episode. Look
I know.
All right, guys. We'll see you next week.
Bye.